that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
you have done. I said, see, rider. Oh, see what you have done. How come you made me love you? No, your loving man has gone. Hear what I say? Well, I'm going away, baby, and I won't be back and forth. I'm going away, baby, and I won't be back and forth. Well, if I find me a good girl, I wanna be back at all. Hear what I say? I said, see, rider. Oh, see what you have done. I said, see, rider. Oh, see what you have done. How come you made me love you? No, you love me, man. Hear what I say? Hey, man. Go! Go! Hear what I say? Well, I'm going away, baby, and I won't be back tomorrow. I said I'm going away, baby, and I won't be back tomorrow. Well, if I find me a good girl, I wanna be back at all. Hear what I say? I said, see, rider. Oh, see what you have done. I said, see, rider. Oh, see what you have done. Oh, girl, you made me love you. No, man. Hear what I say? I said, see, rider. I said, see, rider. I said, see, rider.
Warning, the songs you are about to hear are intended for mature listening audiences only. If you have a weak mind or heart and don't like words like shit, fuck, or cunt, then please refrain from listening any further.
It's time for some real music. It's showtime! We have seen imitators. We've also seen duplicators. But now, it's time for the originators.
You're looking for trouble?
You came to the right place. If you're looking for trouble,
That's right, Los Angeles. You know where to go when you want to listen to the real deal in underground music.
and told
Let me just say this. There are many that have tried to imitate, many that have tried to replicate, but there's only one real underground show. That is the very manic Jimmy Cab Show. Is misery. Hey, all right. How you doing there? Let me welcome my special fill-in co-host. Do I need to use that, a big evil Emilio?
Yes, you do,
Thank you for being here.
because I am big evil.
Does it get on your nerves that like people always, when you probably use that moniker, they say, hey, there's a movie
Yeah.
that
here's
uses
the-
that same name?
Tell me, you know what? I had it since I was fucking 17. Fuck that movie.
I want to thank Big Evil Emilio for filling in because, as usual, we have no idea where Lost Johnny's at today. All right. You know what, man? I mean, let me mention this real quick. On January 8th was the King's birthday, as you, because I know you were looking at me like, why is Elvis Presley on this playlist? What's going on? As you know, I'm a big Elvis fan, but January 8th was Elvis's birthday. He would have been 79 fucking years old, man. Is that crazy or what?
79. The King.
The King.
Wow.
No one else will ever take that fucking title, man.
No.
The King. you're like, whatever. This week has been, first of all, let me say hello to Hands Off Jenny. Hands Off Jenny, how are you? You look very lovely as always.
I'm doing well.
Hello, Mr. X, how are you? This week has been, I deal with a lot of issues in regards to aging. As you know, I'm not a very happy or content person with the aging process. I'm trying to fight it. But I think you'll relate to this.
Sure.
This lifestyle that we live, and especially this music that we're heavily involved in, because it isn't like a fad. I mean, 30 years, you and I?
Plus, 30 years plus.
Right? But when you there's always a shock factor when you realize where you're at in that age timeline.
Right.
Like, I'll be 44 in April. That's horrific, dude. And then when I hear the news of Elvis's anniversary, his birthday, oh wow, he would have been 79. That's fucking crazy. How would he look now, right? All those fucking fried banana sandwiches and shit. Probably balding, right? But Dan, I'm gonna totally butcher his last name. Dan Liker.
Okay.
He announced his retirement, and he's gonna be 50. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, dude.
Nuclear assault base pack.
Nuclear assault, SOD, brutal truth, and, Exit 13, on and on and on. The guy's like he's
calling it quits.
He's like our counterpart in the East Coast.
Right.
Underground guy. I used to tape trade with the dude. I mean, the guy's he's more commonly known for his SOD contribution, but I mean, he was the founding member of Anthrax. And, SOD and like I mentioned before, Brutal Truth and on. True underground guy. He is retiring. He's like, I'm done with the touring. I mean, I don't blame him, though. Could you imagine being in a van? Can you picture yourself at our age right now touring in a van?
At this age, I cannot sleep on a fucking couch or the floor. Fuck that. And I need a bed.
Not only that, dealing with listen.
Oh, yeah. In an enclosed space for who knows how long, from one city to the next. Fuck no.
And it just all hit me wow, fuck, Dan Loker's retiring. I'm fucking 44. Dude, how long do we ride this way? Look at Hands Off Jenny. She's disgusted. Because you're relatively a young girl. It's not sexy, right, for a middle-aged man in his 40s to still be rocking to this underground extreme stuff, right? Would you be impressed with my vinyl collection? Probably not.
Well, I don't look around because I'm taken, but...
With your sister? Probably not.
Vote.
So, yeah, man, aging is dealing with the age issue again. It's just horrific. All right, Emilio, what did we start the show off with?
We started off this block with City Dumb by the Melvins off the Tres Cabrones album.
Nice,
yeah. Then we heard Last Orders from Alehammer off the Barmageddon CD. Then next we heard All Work and No Play by Brutal Truth, End of Time album. Heartbreaker by Motorhead off the Aftershock album. And we finished this block with CC Rider by the King, Elvis Presley, live in Memphis.
Now, would you ever, when we were young and when we were tape trading and we were both a waist 30, it's a long time ago, did you ever think that you would live to see the day that there would be a Motorhead wine, full Motorhead merchandising with, baby clothes, skateboards, the whole gauntlet?
Absolutely.
And Motorhead playing a fucking fag fest, no offense to the homosexual crowd, but playing a fag fest like Coachella?
I would have never dreamed. First of all, the merchandising thing, that blows my mind, that there is a Motorhead wine and all this other Motorhead merchandise. I never thought they would reach that level of marketing.
Yeah, this week has been just...
But to have them at Coachella?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I actually asked friends, listeners, I actually threw it out there. I'm like, because we've both been avid Motorhead fans for over 30 years.
Right.
It's one of those legacies that you're just loyal to.
Right.
I'm sure there's some albums here and there that I probably missed myself because, you just tend to tune out. But still, when it comes to seeing Motorhead live, you're faithful.
Definitely.
I actually look forward. I actually dig in my, fucking hoarder collection, try to find that super old Motorhead shirt that no longer fits, where I look like a Chippendale dancer. But Coachella, that's a little too much for me, man. It really is.
it would be too much to go through, to sit through, to get just to Motorhead. You have to listen to countless bands of just bullshit music. Oh my God. There's no other way to explain it. Motorhead at that show would be a total waste of your time. I say, they're going to play it. They're going to try to make some money off of it, which I'm sure they're...
Oh, they've been trying to make money for, I'd say, like the last 15 years, man. But still,
right.
To like really sit there and say, okay, I think it's, even if we chose to go, I think it's sold out already.
Oh, yeah, it is sold out.
It is sold out, right? But still, like, dude, I could barely hang going to these underground shows and dealing with the fucking crowd that we have to deal with, let alone like, hi, I don't know nothing, but Motorhead's cool.
Let me pay $15 for a Pabst.
Yeah. You know what? Let me bring in, we got some really special guests out there. Let me bring in the Lace people here. Lace Pickups. You're a guitar player. You're familiar with Lace Pickups.
Yes, I am.
Lace Pickups, they really, really go out of their way to not only embrace all forms of music, but especially support the underground music. I like how, Mike, you want to bring in the Lace people, please? Lace Pickups. I got to tell you, if you are a guitar player, make sure you go check out Lace Pickups. Lace Pickups, they really go out of their way. I'm going to welcome Jared Reynolds and also Jeff Lace. I hope I pronounced that correctly. How you doing there? How you guys doing there?
Good.
Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about Lace? I know that we have, obviously, the main man here himself. Welcome to the Very Manic Jimmy Cav Show.
Hello.
Sure, you put your headphones on there, my friends. Let me start with you, Jared, because I'm really impressed with you. Do you know what a hard worker you have representing your company? I see you everywhere. We are real underground guys.
Yeah.
And real recognizes real, but I see you literally everywhere. And I know it's business and pleasure, but you really represent your company well because I see you at underground shows that I wouldn't even think your company would be associated with. I see you everywhere. How do you do it, number one? He's like, what?
Yeah. Passion, man. You gotta have passion.
Absolutely.
If I don't have passion, how can I ask somebody to play our pickups, passionately, and help endorse us and push us, So, I think it goes a long way when I'm at these shows with these guys, and then they can see I'm not just a suit that's trying to push product,
No, that's what I really, really respect about you and your company is the fact that you can tell that this company from organically, it's a very sincere, very real company. And it really does embrace all music. Not to take away from like other companies that are in your field, but there's a difference. It's like I mentioned earlier, real recognizes real. And the fact that they have someone like you representing the company and going out there and going to the shows, I find that very commendable because there's always a detachment when it comes to business and your market. There's always like a detachment, okay, I'll sell it to you and I want you to buy it, but I don't want to intermingle. And you're really out there. And the reason why I say this is because you and I always have somewhat of those similar faces dealing with that demographic too. Our feet are hurting.
It's the long running joke with us when we see each other. It's like, man, I can't believe we're both here right now.
I just got
on a Tuesday night
go
at like midnight, and my feet are killing me, my back hurts, but man, that's what you do.
And then he's the first one in at work.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I'm at work at 8 o'clock the next morning.
Are you the first one in the coffee line too?
No, I don't drink coffee.
Oh my God. I don't know how you do it, Dad. Let me welcome Jeff Lace. Jeff, thank you for being here.
Oh, you're most certainly welcome.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your company? When was it formed?
Well, the company was formed in 1979. My father, Don Lace Sr., was involved in the music industry on and off for years. He actually did some work with Leo Fender in the mid-'60s on speaker design. And a lot of what my father was doing involves coil winding. From the guitar pickups obviously involve coil winding, but there's coils in speakers. There's also coils in solenoids, which is our industrial side of things. So he's been involved in that, and he got to the point where he spun his own company out in 1979. We started in our garage in Huntington Beach. I would be putting together stuff. I'd be doing windings. My brother, Don Lace Jr.
Really family-oriented.
Oh, yeah. Our kitchen table was the office. that was, you never even saw
That's
the table. It was all
incredible.
paper and stuff like that. And we were working out of the garage for a few years and then moved into a small little industrial facility, which was about 800 square feet. And we have about 6,500 square feet of manufacturing now. And, it's such an interesting, eclectic business because, industrial solenoids, they either work or they don't. But for the guitar pickups, the end result is completely intangible. It's how it makes a person feel inside. You can't put a value on that. You can't put a quality on that.
You're absolutely right.
But when you combine that with passion, like what Jared does, and his enthusiasm, it creates an interesting product and dynamics that's real unique for the industry.
I really like the fact that the company, and I mean, let's be honest. I mean, especially here in the United States, it's very hard to have a company per se where it could be successful, but at the same time retain that real honest, sincere vibe. It's a cutthroat business, and like I mentioned before, there's a lot of companies that they want to market their product and have you buy it, but they really don't want to interact. They really don't care what you do, just buy it. But with Lace Pickups, what I really like, I'm not a musician per se, but what I really admire is what you mentioned. There's like a sincerity, and obviously it started from the foundation on up, where till now, being that we pertain to the underground market, it's not just an underground product. There's many, the versatility of artists that use your products is amazing. It's impressive. But what I really like the most is the fact that there's still that humbleness to it. And this is why I'm glad that you're here. And I really, anyone who has, Emilio, you're a guitar player. You want some Lace Pickups? Right now would be the time to pitch. But I really like the fact that there's a lot of musicians that really not only enjoy your product, but they actually stand and say very predominantly, this is what makes my sound.
Yeah, the whole thing that, and especially I go back to Jared and his passion, the fact that once we get these artists involved with our pickups and stuff like that, they spread the word.
Yeah,
they become our ambassadors of tone. And, they'll tell people that, wow, you got to try this, got to listen to this. And, a lot of artists, have been locked into what they're doing for years and years and years. But now, because other artists are saying you should be trying this, they're open to it, as opposed to just saying, hey, here's a plug, or here's some free stuff, try
Right.
it. Coming from a company doesn't mean anything. But when your peers are saying that there's something here that you got to try, or when they're asked, God, what was your tone? Why did you sound so good? Well, this is what I'm using now.
That's incredible. Now, why don't you introduce yourself, young man? I didn't mean to ignore you as well.
I'm Reggie Ashley.
Nice to meet you, Reggie.
Nice to meet you.
Why don't you tell us what you do with Lace?
I am the tech support guy.
So you're the guy in there.
I'm the guy that answers the questions on what's the best pickup for this style of music or that style of music. I answer questions on what mod choices. We can, in the pickup world, you can do tons of things. You can split them, you can run them in phase, you can run them in parallel or series, and there's all these little wiring schematics that are available to get these different types of sounds going. So I'm the guy they contact when they have these type of questions.
I'm sure since you're on the front line, you also, just like Jared, you get to deal with these musicians and some of them with their egos.
Of course.
How do you deal with that when you tell them, hey, this would make you sound better, and these guys think they're like rock gods?
A lot of it is explaining the technology.
Some names right up there.
A lot of it's actually trying to explain the technology, because what we do is quite different than our competitors. I mean, the sensor design is a radically different design compared to your father's traditional pickup, and it can be heard. I mean, I play out, and I can't tell you how many converts that just hear my sound. And I'm not a metal guy. I'm kind of an all-around player that does a little bit of everything. But when there's guitar players in the audience or on the same stage, they kind of look at me going, "What's going on over there?" And why doesn't my Strat sound like that?
Right.
And it's I tell people a lot of things. I mean, because people call in, asking, if I buy this pickup, will I sound like that person? And the answer is kind of. I mean, a lot of it's bone tone, fingers. There's the amp involved, but the pickups are huge.
You sure you don't kind of milk a little bit to get that sale, man?
You know what?
Are
I
you-
have the funny thing is I have nothing to do with sales. I'm just the tech guy.
How can I sound like him? Oh, buy this product.
Well,
joking.
that's a lot of it though. People, they have heroes.
It's very impressive. Why don't you tell us briefly, because I know there's so many, but right now, who are you? What is the signature product that you're promoting right now?
Right now, we have the Bill Kelleher signature pickups.
Wow.
Those came out December 30th. They were released to the world. They're called Dissonant Aggressors.
Wow.
Yeah, he came up with the name. I can't take credit for that. That was all him. So he works hand in hand with Jeff. Basically, they call on each other, texting back and forth. He was very specific on what he wanted to put his, what he wanted his tone to be, because he's going to put his name on it. So Jeff could probably better explain that. But
tell me a little bit about
2 years though, real quick. It took like 2 years of
negotiations,
hounding to get him on board, and it's just that building that relationship to make them feel like you're going to be important, and we really want to push him. Mastodon is obviously one of the biggest bands in
Huge.
metal and constantly growing and getting more and more of an audience. Their fans are rabid about their tone. We had somebody that did a demo video for us, and he posted a picture of the pickup on his Facebook page, not mentioning anything, but it had the little logo that Bill uses on his signature Gibson guitar, and all those people knew exactly what that was. And I can't wait to hear it. I want one. Tell us what it sounds like. So they know. So having somebody like him with that kind of following, we're definitely gonna, he's basically our flagship at this point. So,
Wow.
we have a core of four guys in the metal world. Matt Pike, he was the first one.
Amazing.
The first one to ever get a signature pickup. Then we have Wino, who we gave one to last year or the year before, I can't remember. And then Bill, and then we're also working all for Brent Hines as well. So
Impressive. Really impressive. I must commend you guys. Not only is it a very sincere company, but just to be having those superpower musicians endorse and love your product.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are going to be at NAMM, correct?
Yes.
Wow. How do you deal with that? Because, I've...
You don't.
It's a full pre-NAMM panic right now. I was working on the booth before coming over here. I was working on the booth till 8 last night. There's so many little projects and prototypes that I need to get out beforehand. It's like I can't wait till it's like 2 days before the show, because I completely give up trying to do anything, and I can just relax and enjoy and do the show. But there's God, it's just huge, from trying to fulfill all the goals that you've set for yourself over the year. Kind of, especially
condense
me. I
everything.
wait till the last week to do it.
We're obviously launching Bill's pickups, so he'll be at our booth on the Friday and Saturday of that show doing a photo op signing thing.
Where will you be at? Because I know it's specific. What booth number will you be at?
In Hall B, booth number 5490.
Okay. For those of you attending...
It's on a main aisle, so it's real easy to find.
Yeah, for those of you attending NAMM, because you're cool and you're you know about musicianship and stuff, make sure you go visit the list table. That's a must. Are you looking forward to 2014 and other ventures?
This is going to be a flagship year for us.
Is it?
Yeah. Simply because of the Bill pickup and Brent's pickup.
I've enjoyed seeing your company. I've been aware of your company for like the last 3 years, but I've been really impressed with who your product, obviously. And like I said, I'm not a musician. I could imagine if I was a guitar player, I'd probably be all wet. But I'm impressed with the work ethic. I'm impressed with the reputation. I'm impressed with the personnel that you have, Jeff. Real sincere, very dedicated employees, and they're not even employees. I would say
No, it's
a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all kind of driven by the same passion. Each of us brings different skills to go forward, but we all kind of build off each other. It's really, really unique. It's almost kind of like the pre-industrial revolution, Victorian work ethic, where everyone is kind of working towards this family goal, and you see a lot of this before stuff became corporate.
Yeah. And let's also mention an American company.
Yes.
That's very important nowadays, because that's like somewhat of like a lost trait now. You know, an American home-based company, right? You guys are all, you know, you're not branching anything off to Canada or Mexico, right?
No.
Or Taiwan, China, America.
Exactly.
I want to thank you guys for being here. How can people get a hold of your product and information, and especially information on NAMM?
Well, everything is on our website, www.lacemusic.com. And we've got a Facebook page. Check us out there. But all the information's on there. And
Let's not forget the YouTube channel.
oh, yeah, we have a YouTube channel. We're on Twitter. I think we're on Instagram, but I don't think we really use it that much yet.
All right, right on. Lace Pickups. I want to thank you guys for being here. Hopefully we can convince you to be a sponsor of the Very Manic Jimmy Cap Show. It's also important to mention the other show I was at, you guys were sponsors, and I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Are you're going to the show tonight, right? The I Hate God show?
I will be there.
I Hate God all plays Lace. So does Leon and Oscar from Nausea, Lace. So,
The roster is
Nice.
impressive. If you were to actually go and see who uses Lace, I mean, from, like I mentioned before, underground artists all the way to well-established artists.
it's kind of a who's who of the underground. That's
You have a big part in it, too.
We're like the black sheep of the pickup world because we do everything different. So we went after the black sheep of music, the music world. You know,
I
underground.
would say you're the real deal, man. Really, you're the real deal, and I wish you guys the best in 2014. Unfortunately, you won't see me nowhere near the NAMM convention.
I don't blame you.
Thank you for being here, gents.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
All right, hands off, Jenny. Why don't we get into some music here? Lace Pickups, check them out. If you really want to be real, get Lace Pickups.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
How did that work out?
information is Mr. Know-It-All.
All right. Oh, man, that was great to hear Kevin McDade and Behold a Monolith. Big Evil Emilio, what did we hear?
First, we heard Buried in the City by Coke Goat off the Vessel album. Then we heard 2 tracks from Craig. First, just Deconstructing the Eternal Tomb. And then we heard Deviant, both off the Black House CD. Then we heard Hell for the Innocent off from Occultist off Death Signs.
You know what? Let me stop you right there. Occultist is going to be coming to Los Angeles sometime in April. They're going to be touring with Ghoul and Iron Reagan. Make sure you pick up Occultist's new record. Yeah, you like Ghoul?
Yeah, I like Ghoul.
You're going to love Occultist too, fucker. What else did we hear, Emilio?
Well, we heard KK6N6ZT from Commandant off the Contact CD. And also from Commandant from the same CD, we also heard Anti-Human Nemesis. And then, of course, we got into the classic from Celtic Frost, Into Crypts of Rays by Behold the Monolith.
Oh, fantastic band. I want to thank Matt Nielsen for giving me that track there. He's the one that captured that moment live, and who would have thought that, we would be losing Kevin McDade. So thank you, Matt, for hooking me up with
Great track.
Awesome. All right. Why don't we bring in our guest here? This is very interesting to me. I don't know if you are familiar with this controversy, but why don't we... this is very interesting. This guy. Mike, why don't you bring in the guest, please? This fucking guy. It's hard to get really, good help these days. Are you a shitty employee at your company as you are here?
Hell yeah.
Fucking dude. All right, Membo, why don't you sit down right there, my friend? Why don't we bring in Dark as Death? Have a seat right there. We're missing one, aren't we? This is really interesting. I like how you guys walk in with full fucking... You guys are hardcore. Hi, we're coming in with beers. All right. This is really interesting here. First of all, let me welcome you, Memo. Where do I begin with this? Because this is really... it goes into so many different ventures. You yourself... Let's give our friend here a chair, my friend.
I was going to make him sit on my lap.
No, don't do that. You guys are already in enough hot water. You don't want to give the other band more propaganda.
Thank you, guys.
All right, why don't we start off with this? Memo, you have been around the Alley Underground scene for a long time. I'd say over 2 decades. Is that correct, Emilio? More or less?
More or less.
If that, right? You're more known for playing in a band called Infamy, which featured Joshua Jagger Heatley.
Yes, that was my main goal there.
And this is really interesting because let me mention this, and let me first warn you guys. I intend to be very straight up and very honest because that's actually the whole premise of the show. You were at the forefront of the Los Angeles underground death metal scene, which till this day does not get recognized. New York, Florida,
right.
San Francisco. Well, San Francisco's more thrash oriented, but in Los Angeles there was a period that there was some amazing underground death metal bands, predominantly from East Los Angeles. Let's not forget San Fernando as well. That really not only were creating something at the fledgling years of that era. This is before world conquest tours and festivals. I mean, this is like when Morbid Angel was fucking starving. A lot of those artists, including yourself, you were at the forefront of that, but as far as seriously taking to the next level, I don't know if it was substance abuses. I don't know if it was... I don't know. No, be serious. I don't know if you were preoccupied with all the pussy you were getting at the time. I'm a very angry man because I'm the one guy that never got laid during none of that period.
Join the club.
But let me finish my train of thought. These bands that were creating they were at the forefront of that era here in Los Angeles. And I would say overall, eventually, due to tape trading and all that throughout the world, you were at the front and you were creating something, but the fact that you weren't taking it as a serious venture, and what I mean by that, with all due respect, touring, the recording, even the basic, trademarking, copywriting. So a lot of that era, for those that lived it and remember it, it's fresh, and we remember what you did, but as we see now, it gets erased, especially with this new generation.
Right.
Where no one fucking has a clue who bands like Infamy, Demolition, Entity.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And bands like Morbid Angel, and I could go on and on and on, who had roots here in Los Angeles. They've erased that part of their history. So getting back to where you are here now, you have reformed your band, which was originally Nocturnal Fear, which is a very touchy issue with you, and also a band from Detroit. You got back into the scene, you reformed Nocturnal Fear. Nocturnal Fear, correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember, was a band that was formed and was playing predominantly 84, 85, 86.
Early 80s. I mean, late 80s.
Okay, Mike, 90s. I need a beer and get Memo a beer because this is a
can opener.
This is going to get really interesting.
You got it, man.
What made you come back, first of all? And I'm not neglecting you guys. We'll get into you guys. We'll introduce your new band in a bit. But what made you come back? Because you kind of like drifted away, man.
Right. Well, you know, you don't know what's missing until it's gone, Jimmy. And
actually, I do. I miss my health insurance. I miss my full-time job. I miss taking girls and getting laid. Yeah, I miss all that shit. But go ahead.
Well, I've been through a lot of stuff, man. You know, having 2 people die in my band.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm playing gigs and doing that, and people that you're really close to pass away. Just like, you know, it gets to you. So after that era and all that, it got kind of boring for me a little bit, and I left the scene for a while. You know, I bought a house, you know, like stuff that I couldn't have done before. And my garage, I turned into a soundproof studio.
Okay.
And me and my brother Adolf jamming every weekend, barbecues and stuff.
You guys have an amazing resemblance. It must be the mustache.
It's the mustache.
Hey, don't remind me.
It's the bigote.
So yeah, man, and then we're all, dude, why don't we start a band up? I go, hey, let's start our first band that we ever did.
Right.
Out of high school. 87, 86, Nocturnal Fear. Let's do it.
Okay, so then I am correct in the timeline.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this, because I had to reach out to underground aficionados. I'm also a hoarder, which I'm not proud to admit. So I have, there's only a few periods that, unfortunately, I discarded some stuff. But I went through my collection, and I was surprised that I didn't have anything from Nocturnal Fear, including bootlegs. 'Cause I remember at that time, we were avid bootleggers. I remember the parties. I remember recording. I didn't have any of that.
But I couldn't find any either.
But let me ask you this. Did you ever record anything officially?
Demos. We did a demo. We released it out, and we didn't get a chance to do an album.
Okay.
But after that, we just went to different directions.
Did your brother play in the original Nocturnal Fear as well?
As well as Barbie Gardena from Possess, the Coffin Tech bass player. And we started off too. As young guys, just jamming in the band.
Okay, so let's get that elephant out of the way now. You reformed Nocturnal Fear because at the time, that was the band that you started off originally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you aware of the Detroit Nocturnal Fear?
Not at the time.
Not at the time, but eventually we did. That's why we put LA on it. And we realized that they're established at the year 2000. They got a label. They got
they're an established band.
Yes,
yeah, they're mean.
You know? So we seen all that, and we say, you know what? We got to change our name because I want to be totally original.
Okay, well, let me take it back real quick because there's a lot of issues that have been going on. And first of all, this new band that you have, I was actually amazed because I like to think, first of all, I'm 43, so I'm not really fucking on top of shit no more.
I'm almost there.
What Avon do you use? Because you look the same like you did in 85.
You too, Jimmy.
But anyways,
I'm taking you out to lunch later.
One of the things that I found very disturbing was the fact that, you know, you come back to play, which is what you really are about. I understand, and I mean, it shouldn't be looked upon as a negative that you went and had a family and had to do all the shit to do. That's
Right.
just part of life. I'm just immature and don't go that route. Or either that or I'm shooting blanks, one way or the other.
And
But-
actually, that helped me out, or else I would have been a big mess.
But here's the deal. You reformed Nocturnal Fear thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong.
There was no band going.
Right? And you thought no one had that name. Then it was brought to your attention that there was there's actually 4 Nocturnal Fears.
There you go.
That I found out. There's one from South America. It loses me, but the predominantly underground one is from back east, from Detroit.
Right.
So when you chose that name again, you weren't doing that
research correctly.
You weren't doing that to be disrespectful to Detroit, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Never.
That's the one thing that needs to be established right off the bat.
Yeah, not at all.
It's what we do, is we respect bands. If someone has a part in it, it's just respect, and we changed our name and we're moving forward.
Right.
There's a lot of music in me. I have to release it.
Why did you change your name though?
Because that issue.
Okay, but there's also, like, for instance, Nausea. I'm not trying to restart a controversy. I'm just trying to get to the point.
Yeah.
There's a Nausea that is well established that in my mind is the real, in my opinion, is the real Nausea here from Los Angeles, which features Oscar.
Yeah.
But there's also an East Coast one that's well established, and they've been able to coexist. At one point, there was 2 Slayers. Right, Emilio, help me out here. I mean,
Yeah, Slayer from Texas, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, there's been a lot of bands that have shared similar names. Why not just stick with the fact that you guys were originally from the Forefront? Why change your name?
Well, just to jump in here with Memo, I think what made us change our name, what we all agreed as a band, is just all the negativity that was coming about it, and like me just. To disrespect that front at first, the band from Detroit didn't come at us first and say, hey, you guys need to change your name, and respectfully, right off the get go, they just started disrespecting. So that's not who we are, and that's not what we're trying to represent here. We're trying not to represent any negativity at all. We're just trying to make music. All of us are old school, including new school here. Try to be professional. So we just came all
Get on the mic, bro.
Yeah.
If you want to say something, get on the mic. Because one of the things that I want to make sure that you guys come across well, because you guys have been getting a lot of bashing. You guys have been also getting a lot of bashing, which was surprisingly from certain Los Angeles fucking so-called music underground historians as well. But what did you have to say there? Because we're being straight up here.
Thanks, Jimmy, for having us here.
In the mic, son. In the mic.
Well, I think that really with the Nocturnal Fear thing, I think it's a good thing to just drop that name because, hey, let them have it and stuff. Yeah, they said they recorded whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they came it was very unprofessional the way they went about it. They got racist about it. They got whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We're not trying to take, if you really want to go back, hey, they've been around since 86. These guys, Darkest Death, Nocturnal Fear. I used to be an LKK. And also Arch Enemy, and we have flyers from 86.
You know what? That's a great example right there. You used to be from the LA Nocturnal Arch Enemy.
Arch Enemy.
Yes,
There you go, Jimmy.
I played drums for them. Kenneth Weiser from. Thanks, Jimmy, for the shout out, whatever. But yeah, it's like.
Are you reforming too? Because I mean, it seems.
Yeah, we're working on something right now.
Coming up, man.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's gonna be cool, but to go back, like we have flyers of them. You know what I mean? We got flyers with them on.
No, it's well established. It's well established. Let me be fair, because it's important to also mention that I think you guys could understand the Detroit Nocturnal Fear's anger and outrage to a certain extent. I do agree though that maybe things should have been done more. I don't
professionally.
I'm unfamiliar with what you're talking about, racist statements or what have you.
Say something about that?
Yeah.
Jimmy,
I'll disregard that. But let me
say something about that. They were getting pissed off because people that want to see this band, Nocturnal Fear from Los Angeles, were getting on their website saying, "Hey, where can I buy T-shirts? Where can I buy demos? Where can I get?" They were talking about us, and they got butthurt.
But you can understand their anger,
Yeah,
right?
of course, because they came on
and
the
they are
label
bad
first,
in Detroit.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. It's like being in school. One at a time.
It's cool to get angry. Everybody has anger inside them. But when you go about it and how you release your anger, that's another it's metal. There's not too many people out there that still like death metal. It's we're a big family, small family actually, and to come out like that, just totally disrespecting us.
I see your point.
And we could have did the same thing. We could have went on their website and started bashing them out, but that's not that's not what Dark as Death is about.
I actually commend you guys for actually taking the high road because we are all fucking technically adults.
Yeah.
And I'm not bashing Detroit because I'm not bashing Detroit. Hang on a minute. I'm not bashing Detroit because I can sympathize and understand their anger as well. They're like, they're underground guys that they're touring. They're doing that whole hardship recording and they don't know, you from Adam, and all of a sudden they see their name, so I could get it as well. But I think it's a communication breakdown to the point. So you guys took the next step and said, "Fuck it, let's change the name."
Let's change the name.
So that thing to do.
So that issue should be dead. Why don't you get on that, Mike? Because I think you look like you're way stoned, dude.
Yeah.
Let's have you sit there, bro.
That's Carlos the new bass player.
It's nice to see that nothing's changed in over 20 years. But anyways, I think you guys took the next step to avoid all that and really just stay productive and positive, and you changed the name. So what is the name now?
The name now is Dark as Death.
Okay.
And it's copywritten and trademarked right away. It cost a lot of money, but we did it.
All right. So now you're on
30 days. If Stephen King comes out with the movie with that name, he owes me royalties.
All right.
You're legit.
Would you agree that it would be safe to say that Nocturnal Fear is gone and it's Dark as Death?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's establish that so then there's no more... This is the band, Dark as Death.
This is the band.
All right.
Future.
And you have a long legacy, like I mentioned earlier, of in the alley underground and stuff. Are you inspired now that you have these new musicians with your brother?
Well, look, it wasn't easy, Jimmy. It took me 1 year to get a drummer that could fit my category. I was trying drummers after drummers after drummers. You would not believe.
Well, yeah, because you're accustomed to playing with Emilio Marquez, right?
Yes. I had some people coming down. They were barely learning blast beats in my studio. I was like, dude. So, and then we took another couple of months looking for a correct bass player. Young cat.
That's you?
Yeah.
He plays bass. He uses scales and everything. Perfect.
5-stringer.
And then my brother, with me all my life, we separated for a while, but, brother love is brother love. So I got Deadly Dolph back on the guitar.
All right.
And then I took over vocals because I had to, because I can't.
Isn't it disgusting here in Los Angeles, not only the prima donnas with drummers, but the prima donna with vocalists?
Yeah, there's none around.
Right?
I can't get one. There's none around.
Right?
Exactly, Jimmy.
Now, let me ask you this. Where are we going with this band, Dark as Death? Are you going to take it to the next level where your other projects didn't?
Well, it looks like you're giving us the next level right here. We're all tripping out that.
Well, let me, because I don't want you to think that I'm ridiculing or in any way hitting you on the knees or anything like that. One of the things that frustrates me with these Los Angeles bands that have so many years invested, 15, 20, 25 years. They don't tour. It takes them fucking 20 years to record, with the exception of Sadistic Intent, because I don't want anyone misinterpreting that I'm bashing them. Those guys, I'm being serious. They've taken it. They've done their own accomplishment. There's just so many bands, especially at fucking Vernon Studios, that 20 years, 25 years. It's about, to them, being in a band is just, to say they're in a band, to fucking headbang.
Chicks.
Bang some chicks. Yeah, they don't tour. They takes them forever to record, but yet they think there's something in the LA history when they're nothing. I can honestly say you have I should write the biography of LA Underground.
Man, you know what? You have a point there. Because we do it.
Yeah, fucker, I don't smoke cannabis, so I know I have a point. The point is that you have an unwritten history that no one credits, which I'm glad that you're back, because you, as I mentioned before, you were at the forefront there with all these other incredible bands.
They're smart, man.
He has an impressive resume.
Yeah, right? You're not a
Big
ghost.
Evil.
Big Evil?
Yeah.
Where are we going, man? Are you gonna? Are we gonna pull through here and go somewhere with this?
We have to. Well, listen.
It seems like you got 3 other solid guys ready to back you up. Hit the road.
We're ready.
Well, right now we released a single release, "Bless the Witch," to get the crowd fired up.
Which I gotta say, I really dig.
We have it right now
today,
live,
right?
man. Crank it up.
All right. So right now we're in the studio with Royal Riff Raff. And we're going to release our 5-song EP late April. So get ready, Los Angeles.
All right. Well, you know what? Why don't we get into some
music,
true LA underground music here? Let's take a little time capsule back. Hands off, Jenny. Hit it.
Our homeboys take pride in telling the history of our barrio because white people leave out a lot of stuff when they tell it.
Resurrect me.
homeboy. It's tough, but you go on. When you lose your best camarada, you lose a part of who you are inside.
Guilty of it, my life all at once. Release
into our neighborhood as long as you show us respect. Otherwise, we're gonna fuck you up.
All right. For those of you that are at my age bracket and from Los Angeles, you're going to appreciate that set right there. Let me first of all thank a few people, because the fact that I'm a hoarder, I actually had to go through my shit, and I was surprised that I couldn't either find it or I had lost some of those vintage recordings. So let me first thank Mike Abominator. He ended up helping me out here. I also want to thank, how is this? Apparition Music. Make sure you check out www.apparitionmusic.com. That handsome young guy helped me restore some of these recordings. So, Emilio, what did we hear?
We started off the block with Final Transformation by Coffin Text off the Tomb of the Infinite Ritual album. Then we heard Liar Deceiver from Engrave off the Rebirth Infernal Bleeding album. Then we heard Cranial Implosion from Infamy off the Blood Shall Flow CD. Then we heard, I'm going to butcher this name, I'm going to try my best, Carcinogenic Carry-On. We heard Entity.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's Entity, that's the name of the song, Carcinogenic.
Yeah, was I in the restroom that time?
Off the Cadaveric Necro Grind album. Then we heard Dominion from Demolition off the Epochial Upheaval CD.
All right. You know, one of the things that I need to mention again, in Los Angeles, there was a period in time in the underground, I would say anywhere from like 1985 maybe to 88, 89, where there's some amazing fucking bands that were really, and let me not forget, some of these bands are from Northeast Los Angeles, East LA, predominantly the El Sereno area. But amazing bands like Engrave, Brainstorm, Infamy. Let's not forget San Fernando, Demolition.
Yes.
Ahead of their time, man. And as you were mentioning so graciously, by the way, you know, you played in Entity and in Infamy. One of the things, Memo, that I've really, I think it's important to address is the fact that, you know what, you have, I think you are highly underrated in the underground scene as a riff master. Your riffs are sick, dude.
Thank you.
And I mean that in all.
Not easy.
Let me ask you this: now that you have this new band, have you stayed current? Have you been listening to underground music? Have you stayed away from it so it wouldn't influence you? Or talk to me a little bit about that.
You know what? It's funny. Like James from Infamy tells me, Memo, your riffs are so fucking original. I go, why? I go, so you don't have no CDs. You have no music. He creates it. You have nothing. And there you go, you know. Hats off to James, man.
So you don't listen to?
Of course
nothing.
I do. Geoside, everything, yes. But you know, when I lock myself up and jam out and stuff, you know,
it's not compatible. You know?
I just make my own shit, and it's to me till this day.
I would say that, you know what, you've been doing that for decades.
Yes,
you know when I resurrected and got to listen to like the Infamy demos and Entity and all that stuff, I mean, it just really took me back to that period. But I was very impressed because those riffs were sick then, and they transcend very well now, which is very hard to do, man. Which is very hard to do. And then I heard this new track that we're going to be playing in a bit. But real quick, you got a new band now called Dark as Death. We've already established that this is the band.
This is the band.
And you trademarked and copywritten this, right?
Yes.
All right. Introduce me to your new band.
All right. Well, you know me already, Memo. Dark as Death. To my right, we have
Art, the drummer.
Deli Dolph, guitar and leads.
I'm CJ on bass.
Okay, so this is the solid lineup now, Dark as Death.
4-man band.
I know that you've been playing in Los Angeles. Let me first start off by apologizing because I have already established and admitted that I am a metal underground snob.
Yeah.
Meaning that even though I don't work, I should be able to go to all the shows. I really don't, man. I mean, dude, when you're my age, like last night I was going to go to a show and I just had a bowl of Cheerios and just something. Right, Emilio? You could relate, right?
I was going to go see the Mentors myself.
I'm going to eat this fucking Doritos.
I burned out like you wouldn't believe.
But I know you've been playing locally. I know that I've been aware that you guys have been playing locally. There's a show coming up.
Right.
All right.
And we were like, 5 gigs, Jimmy? And you should see the crowd that's showing up and backing us up and supporting this new band.
Nice.
Like, wow. And then we get a call from you. That's double wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where are you guys playing?
We're playing at the Silver Factory. It's kind of down the street from here off of 4310 West Jefferson Boulevard in LA.
Okay. Right into the mic, son.
Oh, well, the show's being put together by Rolled Black and Presents, and the event's called Blood of the Eternals, which will also be featuring Scrap Metal,
nice.
Cold
Yes,
Phosphate,
Scrap Metal,
Exterminator, a couple other bands too as well as us.
Okay, and when is that?
It's January 25th.
January 25th.
See you guys all there. Don't miss Dark as Death.
What's up with? I know that you've released a single. What's up with recording like an EP or an album? What's going on with that?
Okay, right now we're in studio. Before our album comes out, we gotta feed the crowd.
What does that mean?
Well, we fed them already with Bless the Witch, which we're gonna hear right now.
Right.
And we have a 5-song EP coming out. And Claire Obscure Music's going to help us out, and we're going to release a big show on that day.
Okay.
Thank you, Claire.
Right on. Cool, man. So you're going to be releasing something around April?
April, it's going to come out. New stuff.
Around tax season?
Yes. Don't remind us. They're all going to come out. I'm not releasing all of it, just 4-song EP.
All right, right on, man. Well, why don't we listen to some Dark as Death? Or as Memo, why don't you do that? You do that very well.
All right. This is our single release, Bless the Witch. And this is Dark as Death. And you're listening to the Jimmy Cab Show. You gotta get a new person out there. What happened? They cut you off?
All right. Is that a nice time capsule back or what?
Hell yeah. Time capsule.
Past and present. Big Evil, what did we hear?
We heard Bless the Witch from Dark as Death. Then we got into some infamy. Blood Shall Flow.
And that features our good friend right here, Memo right there, right? Did you write that riff right there?
Big part of it. Big part of it.
One of his earlier bands.
All right, you know what? Make sure you catch Dark as Death. They're going to be playing a show here. Now, this is interesting. Silver Factory Studios. Never heard of that. 4310 West Jefferson Boulevard, LA. That's 90016. Amazing bands playing this show. This is a show brought to you by World Blacken and Ian of the Serpent Presents. All right, Scrap Metal and, a bunch of other bands whose font I can't read. But go to the Dark as Death Facebook page and make sure you get, first of all, what's really awesome is you could download that track off Dark as Death and stay current. And you guys are going to be releasing something in April, right?
Right.
All right, man. I really liked that jam right there, man. And I got to tell you, I'm glad that you guys came on and you corrected and addressed that issue.
And we want to thank you for that, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can thank me by buying me a beer. You can thank me by buying me a beer later.
Yeah.
Beer's coming all the way.
Now, let me ask you this. This is completely off everything else. You know, Infamy, James from Infamy has kept that band going.
Hats off to James.
Yeah.
Keeping the legacy alive. James Grijalva.
One of the questions I've always asked is why haven't you gone back with him to do that? Is it just artistically you ventured off in different directions? Or?
Yeah,
because that's his band now.
Yes.
And actually, in all fairness, he had a track called Gates of Purgatory that's pretty fucking
and
awesome.
they just recorded a video yesterday.
Did they really?
Yes, so stay tuned, LA.
I need to get him back on here. But so, like, have you ever thought about going back to the Infamy legacy? And
yes, but I would love to, but my timing, working, jamming, and all that, I only got time from one band.
And this is
one brutal band, and it's Darkest Death.
All right. Well, that's very well put. I want to thank Darkest Death for being here.
Thanks.
I want to thank you for, tackling that whole controversy thing.
Yeah,
I want to wish you all the best. I actually really, it's kind of a weird reawakening for me because to listen to that music and to recognize that period to where it's at now, it's like a bittersweet type of thing. But it's very inspiring, and I think it's great that you guys are all back, especially you, Memo, because, till this day, you are the riff master as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Well said.
Arch enemy as well.
Thank you.
God bless America.
Are you expected to get a cease and desist from the mainstream Arch enemy?
Yeah, we're going to sue them when they hit the fucking $10 million mark. That's why they put in 2 words. It's Arch enemy.
That's right. I think it's great to.
Props, though, for the LA, they know where they got the name from.
Oh yeah, they do know. They're tape traders. They know what's up. I think it's great that you guys are back, man, and I look forward to seeing you guys play. And I wish you guys the best 2014.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. You know what, Jimmy? I'm gonna have some CDs out, promo CDs for anybody who shows up and the gig this Saturday coming up. Draconis at the Stardust.
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned that. There's a Draconis show. You mentioned
promoted by Claire.
Yeah,
Claire Obscure Music.
You know what? That's very interesting that you mentioned that because you do work with. There are some local underground promoters that are really been keeping the underground.
I love
music.
paying promoters.
Yes. Let's definitely mention this. This is interesting. All right, so Draconis is going to be playing Depths of Misery, which is a great band. Unholy Lust. This is going on January 18th. The Stardust. The Stardust is the venue that had that very intimate show, Sadistic Intent. So it's already on.
Good put together show.
Yeah,
it's already on the map. Make sure you go to Music Obscure. Check out their website. Music Obscure proudly presents Draconis, Depths of Misery, Unholy Lust, and some other bands. That's going on January 18th at the Stardust. That's in the lovely city of Downey. All right.
I'll be passing out some Bless the Witch CDs, so hit me up when I'm there.
Awesome.
Support the local scene.
Yeah. Definitely. It was great having you guys on. All right.
Thank you.
Why don't we get into? I believe we have a Corrections House interview, don't we? This is an interview that I conducted. Are you guys familiar with Corrections House?
No.
Yeah, you guys are like, who the fuck is
we're going to hear it, I'm afraid.
No, just correctional facilities.
This is the interview that I conducted with Mike 9 Williams. Most of you will know him from I Hate God, which they're playing tonight. Okay, I don't need to sell this, but again, I'm going to mention it because I don't want anyone saying, why didn't you say anything about it? I Hate God, the 25th anniversary. This fucking band has really taken... They are the pivotal band for sludge doom. They're playing tonight. Last week, you heard an intimate interview, very revealing intimate interview with Oscar Garcia. Nausea, the legendary Nausea is playing. Also, Obliterations. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. But tonight, that's at Los Globos. Make sure you get your tickets for that. This is an interview I conducted with Nike Mine Williams. Corrections House played last week. And I got to tell you this. You know what? Let's just get into it. Hands off, Jenny. Hit it. This is Jimmy Cab's Tape to Broadcast, a very manic Jimmy Cab show with Mike Williams of Corrections House.
Mike 9, yeah, Mike 9.
Is that the name for this event? For this?
No, that's how I've been Mike 9 for a long time.
Let me mention this again. Corrections House.
Yes.
This is very interesting because you are known. First of all, let me commend you on your writing and your poetry.
Thank you.
I think you're one of the most underrated lyricists and poets. Not only as a musician,
right?
Overall, man.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
why.
Really cool.
Hopefully, you'll get most poets and lyricists. They get recognized after the fact, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But your subject matter really not only touches on a human level,
sure,
the darkness and real life of the human level,
right.
But it's also inspiring and positive.
In some parts, yeah. It can be.
Yeah, man. So let me ask you this. This is a whole new, interesting musical venture that you're going on, Corrections House.
Yes.
Let's mention your other bandmates, because this is really a subversive union in a subversive realm.
Yeah. Beyond
subversive, because you're doing a whole other thing here.
Right.
Let's mention the other incredible musicians in this group.
Well, it's me, and I'm obviously in a band called I Hate God also, and Scott Kelly from Neurosis on guitar and vocals. Bruce Lamont, who's in a band called Yakuza from Chicago, that are kind of like jazz, experimental type metal, I suppose you'd say. And Sanford Parker, who's just everywhere.
Yeah,
he's a producer and engineer, and he was in Knock Mystium. He was in Buried at Sea. He's in Twilight with Thurston Moore. There's so many things he does. But
so what's interesting about this, aside from just the immense heaviness and talent of your fellow coworkers, is the angle that you're going on here.
Right.
Musically, experimentally.
Yeah.
How did all this begin? What are the origins of this group?
Well, the origins for the music for me though goes back to I grew up a punk rock kid, and all that. So then they started calling stuff like post-punk or whatever, So there's bands, like The Birthday Party or Einstürzen in the Botten or this band SBK that I really love, and Throbbing Gristle, and all these bands that kind of came after the wave, of the original punk stuff. And I've just been fascinated with that kind of experimental, different sound since I was 15 years old, or something like that. So, but that's my origins with it. But as for the band, it was really by accident. I mean, we've not even been together 2 years yet, really, as a band. And we've already got an album and a 7-inch out and done 2 tours. So, and this is the third thing we've done as far as being on the road. But, me and Bruce did a couple things at South by Southwest 2 years in a row. 1 year we just did noise with some machines and mixers and just scream, like power electronics kind of stuff. It was just me and him doing that, and kind of opening for... Actually played right before these guys that time, but The Body. But then the next year we were like, well, let's do it again, but let's do it a little more structured. And he was going to do his saxophone noise, his experimental stuff, with treated saxophone. He's got effects and all that. And I was like, well, I'll read, and then we'll gradually build it up. And eventually, we'll end with just, screaming and just really build it up, So we did that, and then we were like, this is cool. And he had done work with Scott as well. Like, they did a Neil Young cover in Chicago, and Scott played Scott does an acoustic tour, set.
Very versatile artist as well.
Yeah. And he, Bruce got up and played sax with him. And so it was just like a whole mutual thing. And I've been knowing Sanford for years as well. They covered an I Hate God song, his old band Buried at Sea, on a record. And so we were like, well, let's do a tour, but let's do like just all solo sets, And it was Sanford we did a U.S. tour with no record or anything. We did put together 3 songs, though, but we did solo stuff, Scott did his acoustic, Bruce did his thing, Sanford did like noise and electronics.
This was all of you doing independent stuff, right? It wasn't like a collective effort.
No, the first tour, well, it was. We had the 3 new songs we wrote.
Okay.
We wrote Hoax the System and 2 others. We do one of those, one of the other ones tonight. But yeah, it was mainly just to do the solo sets. Sanford put together the backing pieces for the 3 new songs, and we were like, okay, that's cool, because we wanted to collaborate at the end, and we were just going to do like random experimental noise at the end. But when he came up with the beats and like the rhythms and stuff, we were like, well, we can write lyrics and stuff to this, So we did that tour, and no one knew who the hell we were, really, but, except people that, hardcore underground fans, Right. So, yeah, and it was cool. It was a fun tour. We had a good time.
Now, do you enjoy this collaboration? Because, you yourself have collaborated with other artists.
Yeah.
But talk to me more. Well, I'm really interested in this collaboration because musically it's diverse than the energy's there, the subversiveness, the angst is there, but this is more electronic based. This is more,
totally.
like you mentioned the sax. That reminds me kind of like Mick Turner Hawkwish type of.
Sure. Oh yeah, we're all Hawkwind fans, so we love that.
Is this more liberating for you? Not to take away what you do with I Hate God, but is this more liberating for you and more exciting as an artist?
It's not more exciting. I Hate God's always exciting, no matter what, but it's a different direction. It's a different way.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, of course. I listen to lots of different types of music, so of course I want to. That's what I do, is I play music. So that's what I want to do, is play. I'm not trying to play every single type of music I like, but it's fun to do this and kind of branch out and do something totally different. And I like the fact that it doesn't sound like I Hate God meets Neurosis. It sounds something totally different. And I think people are usually pretty surprised and happy with it, so.
One of the things that I really, really liked about this record is the fact that it really captures a real world subversive point of view. Lyrically. Talk to me about that. Is there messages, especially what's been going on here politically and worldwide? Lyrically?
Kind of, but
you really, I don't know if you realize this, you really touch, you're on the pulse, man.
Well, a lot of the lyrics were written years and years ago. Most of the lyrics, it even says it on the inside of the record. If you look on the inside of the record, it says inspiration and lyrics by Mike Nine Williams from my book, Cancer's a Social Activity. And we just took that book and kind of picked out stuff in there. I picked out stuff I wanted to sing or read or scream or whatever. And Bruce used it too as well as a basis for all the lyrics in the record. But we also wrote new stuff in the studio. But the majority of it is from the book. And it all has to do with pretty much what's going on. It's funny how some,
frightening, ain't it?
Lyrics can mean something one time and then another time you read them and they mean something totally different, But that's just how people interpret things.
I'm sure you and I are of the similar era, similar age when we were getting exposed to rebellious, punk, subversive music.
Right.
Everything that was talked about lyrically then, from Jello Biafra on, not only has come to fruition, not only has it become part of our society, but the fact that the dreamscape of the population, where they're not only our own civil liberties and our rights, but the poisoning of our food, the contamination. And now here you are, standing on that same fucking, box. And you're doing it artistically, but it's even more frightening to me now as an adult because I'm literally living. Do you follow what I'm saying?
I do, but I wouldn't say I predicted anything, but you can kind of just see the trajectory. You can see the trajectory of how this world is going. I predict I do predict this: a civil war in America, another civil war. I think there's going to be
economically civil war.
Yeah, it's going to be based on all kinds of things, but I think that this country is so split apart with the rich and the poor, and it's just something's bound to happen sooner or later. It's just and racism's not getting any better. I mean, there's nothing happening. It's just I don't know, man. It's hard to even explain, but it's a crazy time.
All right, that was Mike 9. That was part 1 of Corrections House. He has I got to tell you, I was very, very impressed and just blown away by Corrections House last week. They played a show, a band which features Scott Kelly of Neurosis, and I got to tell you, I'm completely distracted with that. Dark as Death really fucking that band's a sick fucking band, man. Let's listen to some Corrections House. Let me get my head together. Let's listen to some Corrections House. Hands off, Jenny, hit it. and Mentally Ill is the Jimmy Cabs anthem for 2014, unfortunately. All right, Big Emilio, Big Evil Emilio. I don't want you to feel I'm discriminating against your weight, but
Why am I a rather large individual?
What did we hear there?
That actually was Dirt Poor and Mentally Ill by Corrections House.
Yeah, you know what? This is what I was trying to say here. So Corrections House is a collaboration of extremely talented underground musicians, which features Mike 9 Williams of I Hate God. Do I really need to say this? Are you that out of tune? All right, I'll say it anyways. Scott Kelly of Neurosis, Bruce Lamont, Sanford Parker, they are Corrections House. They played last week. Where were you at? I was there. Where were you at, Biggie Video?
I was being a poser.
All right, let's get into part 2 of the interview that I conducted with Mike 9 Williams. Hands up, Jenny. Hit it.
When you're playing your music in this project, I asked you earlier if it was liberating, is it exciting? Now I want to talk to you about the audience. How is one of the reasons why I respect you and Scott and everyone else is the fact that the independence and the fact that what you've been doing hasn't been based on what the audience thinks. It's you as true artists with integrity.
Yeah.
But does your audience get what you're doing now?
So far, they're starting to.
Let me be even more blunt, because I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
The underground. What's up? The underground extreme music scene. Is really not that underground anymore. It's kind of broken out. It's kind of broken out into a more mainstream because of technology, what have you.
Sure, yeah, internet.
So like the open-mindedness, the music acceptance, because like you and I are music lovers.
Yeah, of course.
Do you find yourself having some of your audience members kind of going, "Hey, this isn't I Hate God. What is this?
Oh, of course.
Why is there electronic music? What are they doing?
Oh, yeah.
Ignorance.
There's been people that are pissed off. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say it too much, but
say it.
But it is true, People should just have more of an open mind, I think. I mean, I know younger people, and it's same true for me, and I'm sure you too. When I was younger, I didn't want nothing to do with anything but Black Flag, Anything besides that, I was like, fuck everything, But, as you get older, you start listening to tons of types of music and more. Your mind opens, as far as music goes. But, of course, there's been people that have been kind of pissed off or just thought, or I've seen them walk out or whatever. But
really?
Sure. I mean, it's just, but we've got the diehard people there. We're just building this thing, It's just starting. I mean, like I said, we've only been together not even 2 years yet, or not even no, it's been a year. It's been a year. It's about a year now, a year and a half. So we're just starting, We're just building it together, little by little.
It's like everything else. It takes time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but some of the shows there's just not that many people, and the ones that are there though, they do get it. And then we played in Portland, our last show, and it was insane. It was amazing. It was packed. People were like jumping around, and they really got it. Portland was a great show. So
you just came back from Europe. How did Europe accept it?
They were great too. Europe seems to always they pick up American things before the Americans.
Yeah.
It seems. I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
Ain't it?
Yeah, and. Yeah, they really loved it. I mean, like places like Berlin and let's see, what was I saying? There was weirdly enough the places that were the most acceptive of it were in Eastern Europe, like Poland and the Czech Republic and Budapest.
Well, because they probably relate lyrically to what you're saying.
I would think maybe so. Yeah. So yeah, Europe was good.
How do you feel about playing Roadburn this year?
Oh, awesome.
Dude, that's an amazing line. It always is, but...
Yeah.
How do you feel playing as Correction House?
Yeah, I've played there with I Hate God twice before, and it's always great, But, yeah, man, I mean, I'm excited. We're going to do 2 different sets. We're going to do, like, the solo sets like we did on the other tour. Then we're gonna do the set we're doing tonight, maybe with some newer songs, hopefully by April. Who knows? I don't know if we'll have time, but... Yeah, we're gonna, because he asked us to play twice, Walter. So we're gonna break it up and not do the same set twice.
Interesting, man. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
After this show, you're playing San Diego, San Francisco, then you're going off to Australia. You've been to Australia before?
I'm going off to Australia. Well, no, I meet I Hate God in Las Vegas. And
you're a busy man.
Yeah, I know. I like to keep busy, you know. I've been out forever. I mean, as soon as I got back from Europe with Corrections House, we went and did like 4 shows in Texas with I Hate God.
Wow.
And I came home for 1 day and then flew out here to meet these guys. So we do like 4 shows with I Hate God after this Corrections House thing, go to Australia, come back, do 4 more shows in the West Coast, and then I'm off. So I'll be off at the end of January. I'll be off so I can rest and take a break.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going to need it, Ben.
Yeah.
One final question for you. Being that this is technically a new project, we talked about collectively how you come together. We talked about your audience.
Yeah.
You're basically breaking new ground.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's what
How do you feel about that? Because, you know, you don't get recognized for that.
Well, I mean, that's...
You will in time, but...
I hope in time. Maybe when I'm dead, maybe
this is new ground you're breaking.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's like the same thing happened with I Hate God. You know, we came out... We've been together 25 years now, I Hate God has. We came out in 1988. And people were just like, duh, they didn't know what to think. Just sitting there with drool coming out of their mouth like, what is this stupid? It's not fast enough, you know? So, you know, that was 1988. But then now there's like all these bands that sound... Not saying that they copied us or anything, because we copied the Melvins and other...
Well, let me say this.
I St. Vitus, you know, but...
I shared this with Jimmy. You guys did create what... You guys were the forefront of this genre. And it's always the first guy through the wall that gets the bloodiest and has to deal with the shit.
Yeah, that's true, you know. I mean, we just had our own sound, being from the South, you know, and all that, and playing slow like that. But it took a while for it to catch on, is what I'm saying. So hopefully with this Corrections House thing, it'll happen sooner. But, you know, people will realize it's something cool and different, you know. And I think it's entertaining. I mean, you get to hear, I read, and I don't know if that sounds exciting to some people, like reading. But, it's just, there's a little bit of intelligence to what we're doing, you know, I think. Like, trying to be kind of smart, you know, and just do it like that, and not just dumb everything down for everybody so they love it, you know. Just like I Hate God, we're a bunch of idiots anyway, so we play like that, and that's just how it goes. But this, you know, we're hoping we get a different crowd for this.
I think one of the things that I need to mention is the fact that it's always real artists that have, like I mentioned before, they paved the way. And I think this collaboration is, I mean, your other collaborations have been great, but this is really on a whole other subversive level for reals.
Right.
With machines.
Yes, with machines.
With machines.
Yeah, which are kind of hard to work with sometimes.
Do you find yourself sometimes being surrendering to the machines?
Well, sometimes you have to. Let me flip hat off real quick. Yeah, sometimes you have to. I mean, because they kind of control the stage sometimes, you know. I mean, Sanford, he's got his finger on the button, literally. You know, he's telling it what to do, but if it doesn't want to do it, it's not going to do it. It's just like band members I've been with. I've been in bands with people like that too, you know. You try to tell them what to do, and they're not going to do it. So, but it all works out though, you know.
Right on,
it just takes a little more effort and a little more time, but.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Mike 9 Williams.
Yes.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
force. True subversiveness. True rebellion. True reawakening starts with the music and the message. Big Evil. What did we hear?
We heard Drapes, hung by Jesus, no less.
By Jesus.
From Corrections House, off the Last City Zero CD.
You know, I got to tell you again, that musical collaboration, which features, like I mentioned before, Mike, Nine Williams, Scott Kelly, and on and on.
That's an all-star lineup.
That's an all-star lineup, but what really is impressive is the fact that they choose and are re-establishing and reawakening true underground rebellion with being experimental and branching out of what you normally know them as. So, you weren't there last week. I know, I was there. Emilio, you weren't there.
No, I was at home eating my Cheerios.
Salvador and Mike was there, but you know, if you missed that, make sure you catch Corrections House. For those of you in Europe, they're going to be headlining Road Burned. All right, tonight, don't be that few that said, I Hey God played it. I had no idea. Listen, tonight, a true underground show is going on. I Hate God, Nausea. The real Nausea, featuring Oscar Garcia. Cattle Decapitation, Obliteration, Strong Attention. Tonight, Los Globos. This is brought to you by the Static Age. Last week, we gave away a pair of tickets. Tonight is the night to show up and support real underground music. The 25th anniversary of I Hate God. Hands up, Jenny. Are you going to be there?
I have to work.
That's a great excuse. You know what? You stick to the job. The rest of you, especially if you're like me, you should be there. Let's hit it. Hands up, Jenny.
greatest nation on earth. No one who works full-time should have to live in poverty, and raise the federal minimum wage to $9 an hour.
All right. Emilio, what did we hear?
We heard Man is Too Ignorant to Exist from I Hate God off the In the Name of Suffering CD. Then we heard Hate and Deception from Nausea, Condemned to the System. Have you heard that CD?
It's amazing.
Fucking amazing, man.
I've been trying really hard to keep it fucking to myself because, you know, it's incredible, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
I've had it for a
no
long
chance
time.
on doing that. That shit is
I've had
great.
it for a long time, because I'm the real deal in the underground.
Oh, well. And then we heard Wage Slaves from Obliterations.
All right. Tonight, I Hate God. These Static Ages bringing I Hate God, the 25th anniversary. You know what? There's no reason for me to have to say this, but again, here we go. The real deal in Los Angeles. I Hate God, 25th anniversary. I Hate God. Nausea. Cattle decapitations, obliterations, strong intentions. Los Globos, 3040 West Sunset Boulevard. There you go. You know where it's at. Don't say you didn't know about it. I just said it. I know who will be there. You need to be there. That's it. We're going to end it with some I Hate God. I want to thank again, let me mention, first of all, let me congratulate Dan Loker of SOD, Brutal Truth, Anthrax, and on and on. Happy retirement. You know what? I think I might need to retire, man.
No.
I think I might need to
Jimmy
retire.
Cabs, you can't die, Holmes.
Yeah, then I have no life. I also want to thank the Dark as Death guys.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. I'm glad that I had them on here. It's very important for me to say this, that despite the controversy, these guys have truly been, they've had longevity in the underground death metal scene here in Los Angeles, and I'm glad that I pointed that out. I want to thank Memo and Dark as Death for being on. I also want to thank, of course, how can I forget, Mike Nye Williams of Corrections House. If you don't know, then I can't tell you what. Corrections House. Make sure you check them out. Hands off, Jenny. I want to thank you for being here and doing a great job. Also, Mr. X. I want to thank you all for listening. See ya.
secret world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.